Welcome back to the Buttercup Bakery Food Safety, Induction and Refresher Training. This is part 5, where we will be covering delivery and storage. When you work in the food industry, apart from cooking and serving food, you may also be responsible for the delivery, storage, and display of the food. Food can easily get contaminated when doing these things. When you complete this topic, you'll be able to explain safe transport of cold and ambient foods and describe what to check for when receiving food, the different types of storage options, and how to store food safely. It is extremely important to handle food correctly while it is being received, stored, produced, and packed. There are also safety measures required when transporting food. Remember, food must always be protected from contamination and be in temperature control. Cold food transport. Use refrigerated transport to ensure that cold food is transported below 5 degrees Celsius or colder, and that frozen food is transported frozen solid at minus 18 degrees Celsius. Use insulated boxes with cooler bricks or sheets to maintain food at safe temperatures if the food transport vehicle does not have a cooling system, but only where food is transported short distances. Remember, food must be transported at the right temperature, otherwise bacteria can grow. Ambient food transport. Use ambient transport to ensure that food that is stable at room temperatures is transported safely. Product that is stable at ambient temperatures should not be exposed to extreme temperatures when being transported. The product should not become too hot or too cold. This could encourage the growth of bacteria when the product returns to ambient temperatures. Ambient products must be transported to their destination without delay to ensure there are no extreme temperature fluctuations. Buttercup Bakery products are stable at room temperature. Transport vehicles. To ensure safe transport and delivery of food, you should make sure that the food is transported separate from any chemicals, animals, or other objects that might contaminate the food. The delivery vehicle and boxes or crates are cleaned thoroughly prior to each delivery. Food is packed into the transport vehicle only when it is ready for delivery. Once the food has been loaded into the transport vehicle, deliver it as soon as possible. Ensure that all food items are correctly packaged before being transported. Receiving food deliveries. You need to be confident about the safety of food from the moment of delivery. The standard of food being received must be checked before being accepted. You have the right to reject the delivery if you find the food unsafe. Check that refrigerated food is received below 5 degrees Celsius. Frozen foods are frozen hard. Eggs are not cracked or dirty. The food packaging isn't damaged. The food is within its best before or use by date. The foods are properly labeled. The food storage area of the transport vehicle is clean. There are no chemicals or anything other than food in the truck. Do not accept the delivery if the food is not safe and suitable. Food storage. When you receive a delivery of food, you need to store it in the appropriate storage area to help prevent contamination. You should always follow the food storage instructions on the labels. Depending on the food being stored, there are several kinds of storage options available. Dry storage is for dry foods that have a long shelf life and can be kept at room temperature, such as flour, tea, coffee, dried pasta, sugar, canned food, biscuits, rice, and other uncooked grains. Cold storage is for foods that must be kept in the refrigerator or cold room below 5 degrees Celsius. And frozen storage is for foods that need to be kept frozen solid at minus 18 degrees Celsius or colder. Do store raw materials and work-in-progress materials separately. Clean and defrost the cold room and freezer on a regular basis. Check the cold room and freezer temperatures regularly. Keep the opening and closing of the cold room and freezer to a minimum. Regularly check, in particular packaged items, for signs of dampness, expired use-by dates, dented or rusty cans, holes in packaging, or signs of pest infestation. Date the raw materials on delivery. Rotate the raw material stock by using the first in, first out rule. Tell your supervisor or manager if you notice a pest problem in the storage area. Don't overload or overstock the cold room, as the cold air won't be able to circulate properly. Don't store materials on the floor. Don't store raw materials and packaging with items like chemicals, cleaning equipment, clothing, and personal belongings. And don't store materials in toilets or airlocks, which is the space between the double door system. That completes part 5, delivery and storage. Please open the next presentation, which is part 6, all about cleaning and sanitizing.